ass trip to get here, and it is always worth it. How many of you guys was MAGFest 9 was your first MAGFest? Like, you guys are awesome for coming back. Because on the real, like, last year, it sucked. Like, we so outgrew that venue. The elevator system was just awful. That parking garage was always shitty. There's like 100 super compact spaces. It was awful. So thank you for coming back. This new hotel's pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I feel
A little
like...
expensive.
What's that?
A little expensive.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Like
worth it,
21
though.
not the,
Like, it's,
21 not the
it is roomy.
dollars
Like, look at
for
this
the
giant
day.
fucking room they gave me.
Yeah.
I feel like the staff is watching me to make sure I don't steal fixtures.
So, we haven't figured out exactly the logistics, but I brought Calvin here because we are Starship Amazing, and we have been working on a live show. And in some capacity, we hope to perform live. It'll be our first real live show. So, if you guys are on Twitter, I'll definitely let you know. We'll probably do it like the Jam Space. Did you figure out the Jam Space situation? Yeah, I checked it out. Okay, so we'll have that figured out. So yeah, definitely see us play live. Really, I'm first time ever. I know. I'm excited and nervous. But anyway, any Eternal Darkness fans? Woo! We gotta talk. All right. I love you guys. I respect you guys. Last year, I did a vote. I was like, hey, what do you guys want me to do for Halloween? Eternal Darkness, best game to it. Right, that one. Sat down, started playing it, played a little more, and I wasn't feeling it. Didn't like it. I was going to review it with the Gargoyles Quest, and Eternal Darkness is a bad game. Like, alright, my beef with Eternal Darkness, and why I kind of put the review on hold, is that combat system is like shit, right? Like, there's no block, there's no dodge. When you get hit, oftentimes your magic and your life and your sanity all go down. So if you get hit too many times, you can't heal. Am I missing something fundamental about this game? I just got to the part where the Maximilian, he gets locked up at the end, and I was done with the game. And I think if I reviewed it, it would be, this game needs a remake because there are giant glaring flaws with the combat, but the dialogue is great. The story is awesome. I love the setup. It's spooky with the sanity system. I really wanted to like it, and now you guys want me to review it, but it's a bad game, right? Does anybody like defend this? Explain to me what is it about this game? I'm asking you.
It's a Silicon Knights, John. Yeah, they seem to have problems. It always comes down to.
It's supposed to be like one of the cold GameCube games.
Yeah.
And I was all like, yes, let's do it. And then I actually played it. And it's bad. And I want to give the game a fair shake. But I also like it.
Silicon Knights seems to have the same problem with all the games that they put out. Two Human got issues for
even the Twin Snakes. I like the Twin Snakes, but every cutscene had so much Matrix slowdown.
Well, some of the voice actors phoned it in too for the re-recorded lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the original,
but I played it.
Well, I guess it's me. I guess it's me because I played the original on PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So I'm used to, and it's kind of bad. I'm used to Mei Ling and Naomi sounding a certain way. Those same actors came back, but without dialect, and it sounded just.
You definitely have to admire what they were trying to do with the Twin Snakes remake. They really wanted to remake that game from the ground up.
But adding the first-person firing completely without redesigning the levels and making you able to fire out the gun cameras and all that, a lot of the stealth was completely destroyed in it because you could just take out any security camera at that point.
I always thought that the story of Metal Gear Solid 1 was better because Kojima hadn't kind of lost his shit yet.
Well, actually, Kojima actually disavows the Twin Snakes. He vocally
I love the
hates that
gameplay
game.
of Metal Gear Solid 2. I thought the story in Metal Gear Solid 2 was just like, it was almost like a joke.
Yeah.
How ridiculous can I make this?
Yeah.
And like nobody said, yo, Kojima, stop. Because has anybody played Snatcher?
Yes.
Because
It's a damn
that is
good
one of the
game.
best storylines in all video games. And it's before Kojima got too confident, I think. And he was all of a sudden, he was Kojima. I can do whatever I want. And he was still
Yeah,
kind
what
of
was
being
his first? I
self-conscious.
think it was like his first game.
One of his first, I
One of his
don't-
first.
No, Metal Gear
It
was
was the first
earlier
Metal
than
Gear,
that.
and then he took a break and did Snatcher, Police Knots, and then went back to the well for Metal Gear Solid.
No, he did Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake as well in
Yeah.
Japan. That was, I don't know if that came immediately after, if there were games in between.
Really.
I know that there's a fan translation, but that
Oh, Police Knots?
Police Knots, they so have to release that over here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a situation with Earthbound and Mother. And at this point, like it's 2012. The fan translations for Mother 3 have been out for years.
Make it a downloadable title.
They're even willing to give the translations to
explanation is that
Nintendo.
there's too many
For free.
questionably legal bits to it.
Yeah.
And the horrible thing though is that there's never been an official word from Nintendo, and that it's always been like Starman.net released a lengthy thing, so we haven't heard anything from Nintendo. But there's a weird stalemate with the community. Like other communities have done far less and gotten worse from other companies, but Nintendo seems to just be like cool. And maybe it's because Starman, with all the petitions, have kind of taken the high road. Excuse me, and found books and remember the Mature Link petition? That was like when Wind Waker came out. It was all bad and shake. Oh, this kid's game. And then it came out, and the game was fucking great, and it sold millions of copies. Like people that were bitching and whining about that, I'm sure Nintendo was like, "Fuck these kids." And then I'm sure Starman.net went a route where they were like, "We probably appreciate it, but our hands are tied." So as kind of look the other way for now.
Well, they did bow to pressure on, at first they were saying that they weren't going to release Xeno.
Xeno?
The huh?
Oh, the one that came up for the Wii just recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They weren't going to release that side, and they got this huge petition.
Yeah, one of the first
and
I can talk about is
It took them like 2 or 3 months, but first they said, no, we're not going to release it. And then a month later they said, yeah, we're going to release it.
well,
So
I made an Earthbound video a couple years back, and I have re-edited it for the DVD. I was hoping to get it also online before I left for MAGFest, just I couldn't make it work. So my DVD volume 2 is for sale downstairs at fucking Metro whatever. But in that video, because when I released the first one, the fine, wonderful folks at Starman.net, put my video on their site. I got like crazy good numbers. It was awesome. And then at the very end of the video, I'm like, why is it not a virtual console yet? What the fuck, Nintendo? And this is true. 5 days later, Starman.net released that lengthy document. In the original post, they said, just a couple days after, Happy Video Game Nerd had this nice video. Here's the reason why. So, in the re-edit, I just said, like, okay, at 2011, this is where we are now. I might have to remake this video again. Actually, I'll let Joey do it this time. You can re-edit, you make a new one. You do the update in 2013, I'll get the update again in 2015. Let's see, yeah. We're all dead. Until we finally get Earthbound. Think about that, Calvin. What's video games? I don't know. I guess it takes. I was gonna run through some. I had a weird year this year, but I'll take some questions. I kind of had something I wanted to talk about, but it is a type like Q&A, so I'll start with some questions to you, Umbrella.
So you were speaking about how Hideo Kojima was getting a different company to make Metal Gear Solid games. What do you think of Revengeance, where they got Platinum Games to make it?
I'm not. Well, Platinum Games is awesome.
Yeah, I like it too.
Bayonet. It was Bayonet, right? Yeah, Bayonet was fucking rad. So it's probably going to be good. A good, like, action game.
That was my impression too, because...
Do I want another Metal Gear Solid? Because, to be honest, like, I got burnt out halfway through 3 and never really went back.
What?
It's
3 made up for 2.
You know what he needs to remember? What he needs to realize is that you can have dialogue scenes between characters while I play the game. We do not need to just sit there and stare at a static screen of 2.
And move the neck.
Well, it's not static. You can move around the
Use your analog sticks. Just move the.
Or hit the L button. I love you. I love you. What? So I think Revengeance is going to be probably a solid action game. It's going to be not Metal Gear.
Right. It's a totally
Personally, I'm
different
not a huge
spin-off.
Metal Gear
Yeah.
fan, so I don't know if it's not going to be as probably sneaky and dialogue.
I think that's what he was trying to aim for, was a total spin-off. And they had like a big documentary on game trailers about Hideo Kojima telling why he got Platinum Games to do it. And I think the reason was that he said that he had a brand new, fresh team, straight from college, and told them to do the game on their own, and they couldn't get the concept down at all. So they were just failing every time, and the deadline was killing them. So he just finally said, okay, I'll get a company that has some like experience in that type of gameplay. So they went to Platinum Games.
Interesting guy like that. Like Metal Gear Solid 2 was a total bait and switch.
Yeah.
I think people were upset at first, like, who's this Raiden guy? Because he got Snake on the cover.
Right.
Everyone played the demo. The $50 demo that came with the free game. And so he definitely does not mind.
Yeah, there's the meltdown.
Do something different. I don't give a fuck. Even the trailer for Metal Gear Solid 4, it was like first person, and you're like playing some unmanned soldier, and then like Snake pops out of a quarter, kills the guy, and then you're playing Snake. It's like, oh, okay, fine. All right.
Fucking troll.
Bring us to my battle.
Hey, yo. What's up, everybody? We're with Retro TV, obviously. We got, who wants a shirt? We got more shirts? No? Yeah. Anybody? I don't know. I guess we're out. We got an app coming out. Well, hang on, I'll give you the Hollywood Path. Hey, everyone, Hollywood Path, the NES Punk. Sorry to interrupt this panel, but we got things going on here. RetroWareTV.com. When you're down with the Wolfpack, when you're down with RetroWare TV, you're down with Retro TV for life.
The Retro TV panel is tomorrow, so you definitely gotta check that out. I don't know what the fuck these guys have planned. Thanks, guys.
Calvin drew me a robot. It's Scoops.
Scoops!
Oh, I get it. Calvin.
Scoops!
Scoops. Best. Oh, we have Scoops dolls that we need to finish making. Oh, we'll have Scoops dolls for sale tomorrow. Everyone wants a Scoops doll. I'm excited about that.
All day?
All day. Till 1 hour. Yeah, everyone spread the word. We only have, I think, 10 or 20.
So don't spread the word.
It's just us that know right now.
Just tell your closest friends.
I'm tweeting this all over the Twitter.
Will there be more online later?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like all the stuff, like the DVD and the dolls and some other like magnet stuff. We'll throw it online. We gotta like finish it, small detail. Yeah. Figure out how much charge for them. Also, yeah, the girl who was here earlier, Steph Butredge, she totally made them. She made Calvin and I Scoops dolls, and I was like, you should keep making these and you should sell them. So most of the money actually is gonna go to her because she actually made them. So like Calvin and I are gonna take a small cut, and that's what we have. I have to negotiate with her to give her money. Trying to be fair, she's like, no, like, but you made these. What did I do? I thought that Scoops, a funny word, and then a robot. That's it. So, like Calvin and I just went Scoops, back and forth with each other. So yeah, what's some more questions?
I got one.
We got it.
Actually, I just started following you about 2 weeks ago, and I watched episode 1 to 23 or 24.
I'm really sorry you started with the first.
So, but I mean, it was really good just because I mean, I like the fact that, you think outside the box as, everybody talks about mainstream and doesn't give the credit where credit's due, you know what I mean? So, I just
I
want to...
assure myself that I will never be very popular.
One question I want to know, why red wine?
Well, it was going to be beer for a while, and then it just realized, I guess that's the opposite of beer. But I guess also, wouldn't milk be the opposite? Really? That's really dumb. And my parents went to this, kind of make-your-own wine place, so they had, boxes of this wine. They didn't, it was old, it was bad, they didn't need it anymore. And so it really was just a problem. And at the time I was in college, I was paying for college, I was broke. So I was like, oh, free wine. So the first few videos, I was just wine my parents had lying around. And so, yeah, that's it. Not a very interesting story. Yeah, what's up?
The Chrono Trigger review. How much of that was improv, and how hard was that episode to make?
Most of it was improv. The only bit I had going into it was the Hanko thing. Even then it was just Hank. I wrote for Hank, and then I was like, all right, I gotta get out of here, and I couldn't figure out how to delete the O. I gotta move on next bit.
But that video is just Calvin.
And just the general idea of a really stupid person acting like,
Which is not hard for him to do. And I think the hardest part was not laughing.
yeah,
I think the video was 11 minutes and we shot about a half hour. And it actually is this year my most popular video. It edged out the Splatterhouse video by about, I think last I checked it was just 1,000 views.
yeah. When am I gonna see some money about that?
That's all I'm gonna give you one on YouTube.
Theoretical dollars.
Yeah.
Is this it?
This is what you get, all right? And also, I gotta say, if this is what everyone's filming, shout outs to Far From Stall TV and Frazier. He saw that video and he put it on his video, on his Video Game's Awesome. And that gave us a little bump. It's probably why it just edged out Splatterhouse. So when I was at MAGFest last year, I had a goal for myself, and I was like, I'm going to do HVGN videos. I'm just going to do so many reviews. This is going to be my year. And this is the year that I really had to grapple with burnout. I found myself actually, didn't want to quit doing the HVGN, but I kind of got sick of it. And when I was making the Splatterhouse video, I really got burnt out. And the Getting Super Nerdy video just came out of, I want to do something different. And I actually made that entire video in 4 or 5 days. I was on another project, and I was just gelling. I was excited again. That kind of good fire in my belly. And that was just kind of an idea that was kind of knocking at the back door. So I did a couple more of the Getting Super Nerdy videos. And I realized that's a good way for me to step away from the HVGN, which I have been doing for 4 years now. And that led me to develop the Is It Really That Bad and the retro beat stuff. And I'm just curious, what do you guys think of Is It Really That Bad?
Great.
And have you seen it? Okay. Because I plan to do more of them. And the thing about them is, it's important for me because I'm a slow writer. So the scripts for the HVGN, which I spend the most time on, they take the longest. And a show like Is It Really That Bad doesn't involve any writing. The show is based around the idea that I'm just kind of playing the game for the first time. And not to mention, the Charlie's Angels video with Lucy Liu dancing. I'm talking about just fell from the heavens. Oh, this is perfect. This is the fucking most hilarious thing I've ever seen. So I hope to do HVGN videos more because I'll have things to step away from. And also, I realized more and more, I don't want to be just known for the HVGN. I want to be known for more videos. So also the website. I finally have lowfatjello.com. I've had that domain for years. Done nothing to it. So that's the next big project for me, is to do more videos, more diverse stuff than just HVGN. So I'm kind of sorry this last year was not as prolific as I wanted it to be. And it's cool. Hope y'all cool.
We cool, bro.
Calvin, I need your forgiveness.
I don't.
All right. And that's really what I want to say is I want to make sure I got that off my chest. Let you guys know. And also I do feel kind of shitty for not doing much this last week. So. Fuck out of here. So that's one thing I really wanted to say. And no one wants to defend Eternal Darkness because right now it's probably not going to happen. I'm really not feeling that game.
Why don't you make a video about how you feel about it?
Like a video bad.
Yeah.
Is it really that good?
See, I've thought about doing that, but like all that's going to do is just drum up nerve rage and make people really mad. And it's kind of corny, but like it's not what I'm about. And I could do like, is it really that good for Ocarina of Time? Because it's a very good game, but people throw around best game of all time, and that it's perfect, and it's so not. And I think most N64 games have that problem. It's like that's why they keep re-releasing them for like 3DS and stuff. But that's just going to make people mad. And
You just made a bunch of people mad now.
damn it!
Cross the line when you pick Zelda.
I did. Final Fantasy VII, also kind of overrated.
Yes, yes, yes.
N64 sprites.
Those games came out like between where games were a cult following and everyone's starting to like them, so that's why they have that.
But I think FF7 was just like a right place, right time. It was the first RPG to a lot of people, so that's fair. Ego Raptor.
Do you feel that
I
if
think
you were to
Mega Man X
release
is, like,
something,
one of the best games ever.
sorry?
I do genuinely think Mega Man X is one of the best games ever.
Yeah, man, that's right. Do you think if you were to give some insight on how you viewed a game such as Ocarina of Time as not the best game ever, and going over the points of why you don't think that it is, would that not be valuable in and of itself, that it's insightful and educational, as opposed to just drumming up nerd rage?
Because I found that you can try and be as professional as you want and be as adult and cover your points as much as you want, and you're still going to get people mad and angry at you, and just like it feels like it's not what I want to do. Because what at the end of the day, what have I done? I've proven that a game is bad, and from the start, this is not what I've ever wanted to do. And it's not what I want to do. I don't have any problem with people. If someone else wanted to do that show, that would be fine. But I feel like there's enough negativity on the internet already, and it wasn't something I was really aware of. And I'm really glad that I do the Happy Video Game Nerd now. That there's this conceit on the internet. I find that being able to find fault in something is a way to flaunt your intellectual superiority, and I think that is false. I think people think they're smart because they think things are bad. And very seldom is that actually true. And because of that, there's a lot of negativity on the internet that I think is unwarranted. And also, it's been done before. And it's just not what I want to do. But that's just me. I got someone in the back. What's up, man?
Instead of talking about a negative point in time, why don't you try to do something that builds on each one, like how the Majora's Mask changed, and how Wind Waker changed the previous one.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a better.
Besides Twilight Princess was kind of trying to be on the time, it was also trying to be dark like Majora's Mask.
Like something like that would be good, but at the same time, like it's Zelda, and I would like to do something that's not quite as mainstream. But no, like Majora's Mask would be a great example. Like I need to play that game again because, like when I first played it, I get this feeling like I didn't get it. And a lot of people have since been like, no, Majora's Mask is like, yeah, really good and underrated. So something like that. But that's kind of what I do with the HVGN. But I just would stay away from like what's been done before. But I don't know, maybe I will do like a getting super nerdy type video for Majora's Mask. I don't know. Let's see. I haven't done you yet. So.
I got actually two questions.
Okay.
First is, I heard that you, I heard you say something about the new Gunstar Heroes review.
I was planning on it, and then Lance and John did one. So I put it in the back burner. I haven't really, I haven't picked it up. Because they also did Gunstar Superheroes, not superheroes, for the GBA, and you know they covered it like on the real. Like John D is the reason I have not done Snatcher yet. Well, now it's because I don't have a working Sega CD. Yeah.
Why the name Low Fat Jello?
Well, in high school, I thought the name Jello was so cool and random to have on ICQ. And then I found out other people had that name. I was like, oh, I gotta find something else. And then I think I was in 10th grade at the time, and I thought, oh, low fat. But I spelled it L-O-P-H-E-T. Wow.
You subscribe to the Shadow Warrior School of Naming.
Is that it? And it just stuck. And then my friend Ian back there, he one time said, what is Lot Pat Jello? and then they teased me for a year or so, and I just owned it. I was like, fine, Lot Pat. And then Lot was like nickname from me for a while, and it lasted through college. And then when YouTube started in 2006, and I wanted to look at adult content, I had to get an account. And don't judge me.
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just chose my kind of handle at the time was Low Fat Jello or Lot Fat Jello. And then when time came to upload videos, I just had that. I had that. And then once my videos actually started taking off, I had too much anxiety about switching to another channel. I was like, I'd lose all my fans, I'd lose all my comments, I'd never get them back. So I just made it my production company. Yeah. And I think you in the red? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask what's your opinion on the new Slaughterhouse game, considering you're a Slaughterhouse fan.
I love Slaughterhouse, best game.
The new one?
The new one. Is there a new one?
Yeah, the new Slaughterhouse.
Why'd you guys tell me?
Slaughterhouse?
Yeah, no,
No, the new
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse is fucking rad. And every time I see Slaughterhouse,
the Namco one, the one that you reviewed, right?
Oh, I didn't.
Slaughterhouse or Splatterhouse?
I thought you put me on.
Slaughterhouse.
Is there a Slaughterhouse?
Slaughterhouse was Sergeant Slaughter trains all the time.
Well, I thought you were putting me on. Oh, I thought you put me on.
Eddie's disease.
See how he's got hilarious jokes.
No, I put myself on.
Okay. No, Splatterhouse is really good, but it is not a perfect game. And I feel like a lot of critics didn't give it a chance because Namco pulled out its marketing at the last second. And one thing I avoided doing in that review was say, fuck the critics, because I don't believe that. I really do think critics have a role, and people that, the problem with reviews and like Metacritic and stuff, people do care too much about scores, and they miss the point. You should play a game because your critic recommended it, because I or any critic recommended it. You should play a game because I told you to, because I recommended it. You should like a game because you played it and liked it, not because the Metacritic score is this. And if your friends are like, oh, you played a game, you got 7.8 on Metacritic, you need new friends. So I feel bad for Splatterhouse. It kind of got shit. It's one of those games that kind of just, the critics overlooked it, and I think if you play that game on one of the first few levels, it is really easy to write it off and say it's technically very flawed and kind of lame. Yeah, it starts off kind of slow, and it does have graphical problems and audio glitches, but like the combat is always solid. The camera is not bad. I thought the combat was great. The story is what it needed to be, and way more. Actually, almost like too much. But it was still like to avoid the pothole that Kojima has. All the story was told: you fight dudes and you walk to the next room. And you fight dudes and you just walk. That's the whole game. You fight and you walking. But in between the walking, Rick and the Mask are talking, and he's like giving them backstory about Dr. West. And since the Mask can read Rick's mind, he's like he brings up ideas of infidelity between their relationship, and it's probably verbose, but it's told at a right time in the game, so it never overstays its welcome. You're always like moving on and fighting dudes, and if you're getting story, it's because you're moving on someplace else. And so the pacing is really, really good, and voice acting's fucking incredible. So
Those Jim Cummings, you can't.
Hell yeah. And also forget the guy who played Rick, but the guy who did Rick, there's a yell they use a couple times throughout the game where he goes, "No, Jenny!" And it's really like, you really feel it. He really wants to save his girl. So I really attached to that. And this Splatterhouse is like crazy cheap. You can find it now. If this even in stores,
It's like
it'd be like $20, yeah. And I'd say it's totally worth it. Especially it comes with the original 3 games, which are I think really good. Hold the first.
Right? That.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Actually, I got a comment on a video recently. Someone asked me, like, what do you think of the new Splatterhouse? My comment was just, yeah, very funny. And then he commented on the Splatterhouse video, I had no idea you did this, holy shit. So, I thought it was kind of funny.
So, two things. One, did you like the new Sparkster game they came out with?
I reviewed that too.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, but it's not out yet.
Oh, it's I did Sparkster and Rocket Knight.
Yeah.
Not
like that.
It was all right.
Second, do you approve of this?
Fuck yeah.
What is
Of course
it?
I do. Get up, bro. Get up here. Yeah, yeah. I get to be on stage. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. Sweet. You want me to ruin that? What? You want me to sign that? Yeah. Of course. You want me to? I do.
Sign it.
Work of art. I'll get you next and you. Oh, Maggie.
I was wondering, you had that second channel on YouTube where you did the skit where you went on the date with the robot.
Yeah.
Are you doing any more of those?
Actually, this year was a good year for me because I kind of ventured into real filmmaking. I did those skits with some friends, my friends Peter and Dana, and we were all just kind of really hungry to do something in film. And the collaboration didn't really work out. We did 3 skits. We shot 3. We only edited 2. And then Peter went on a bike ride. And then when he came back, and he was like, "So let's get back to work." And I was like, "You know what? It didn't really work out, man. But that kind of got our teeth cut, and it's really weird. There's actually a big film scene in Anchorage. It's actually starting to happen locally. There's this movie coming out called Big Miracle about a whale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they shot that up the street. That was all shot in Anchorage. Saw a whale myself. I was like, hey, who that whale? Who that whale? We think we're funny. And there's a thing called the Alaska Film Forum has started a thing called the Open Projector Night. It's like an open mic night. If you have a film, anyone you can show it. And I started making films for that, including a couple of the Peter, Dana, and Derek sketches. And the response was pretty big. And then once we kind of went our separate ways, we both started doing stuff with our friends. And there was just recently a Best of the OPN, and one of my films was actually selected for that. So I've never thought of myself as like a real filmmaker. And with the Happy Video Game Nerds, I'm going to take that into real film. I think it'd be like a documentary. I feel like I can do documentaries well, but real filmmaking is kind of hard. And those sketches aren't very good. So I'm really glad I put them on another channel. But I made that one skit for the 48-hour Film Fest. When you watch that, it's called Dinner Can Wait. And it had this weird food sex scene at the end. Yeah. My friend Steph, the girl who was there, she fought for that. She really wanted to have that scene. Can you believe it? The girl wanted to do the sex stuff with the cocktail stuff. And I felt like my first moment as a good director was we were in the trenches, we were shooting that scene, and my friend is like shirtless on the mattress, and she's about to throw like sour cream on him. And she's like, "Why are we doing this? I don't want to do this anymore." I just said, "Steph, it's your idea. Ready? Action." But she was professional after that. I think she had that one moment where she's like, "Ugh," but she actually fought for that. We had no other ideas. We kind of wrote around the taco sex scene. But I have another short that I haven't put on YouTube yet. It's about beards and mustaches.
What's the title there?
It's called, Calvin's in it. It's called I Mustache You a Question. Because he couldn't think of anything else. And that was actually selected for the Best of Open Projector Night. So I guess it's my best work yet. But I promise it's not as fucking weird as the last one. In the red and John's next.
Please more videos like what you did with Peter and Hank.
Yes!
No.
I'm good. Like I can't. I don't know what else I would do with that. Except do the same thing again, and that's kind of boring to me. He's still dumb. He's still not good at video games. So there's not a lot of motivation for me to want to do more of those.
And also, Calvin is a musician. He plays games.
I don't care about this video game shit.
I've played video games. That's why I make the melodies of Starship Amazing. Because I put the boop boop beep, I get the if Starship Amazing sounds chiptune-ish, that's my influence. But if Starship Amazing has a cool, if it's good, if it's he does most of the groundwork, that's for sure. But I get shit done. Finished form and shape already. Okay.
And how do you feel about Metroid Other M?
I haven't played it yet. I've heard a lot of. That would be a good episode if it's really that bad. Because people say it is the game that got horrible reviews, but I'm a big fan of Metroid Prime, so I would. I really like Metroid Prime, so I would be. And I like the Metroid games, so I would like to play that. Because I have heard that it is bad. I've heard a lot of varying accounts. And when I
heard she's really into babies.
Well, Other M is mom. Metroid Other M mom. Metroid mom. Women love babies. I'll get John and you. So,
well, my question was literally, when are we going to see more Cal?
Worked on a new AMV. It's gonna hit.
Cal did an AMV for anybody. Is anyone familiar with Odd Future Wolfgang film all?
Yeah.
With Tyler, the creator.
Yeah. Anyone familiar with Fist of the North Star?
Yeah.
What is
So
that?
he did an AMV.
I did that.
There's a song that Tyler made called Splatter, and he made an AMV to that. It's called Fist of the Wolfgang. Actually, I did a little cleanup because it was his first. It was actually his first time editing anything, so I kind of gave him a little polish, but like 90% of that was all you, and it's not bad. And the song is a part where he says, "Somebody tell Satan that I want my fucking swag back." And that's when Kishno gets all buff. Calvin put these dumb words on it.
It gets buffer. He's always
buff.
yeah.
But the thing on his arm rips and his. So the one guy who knows Odd Future, you should check that out. I'm sorry. And, yeah, you.
What do you think of Chrono Cross?
You know, when Chrono Cross came out, it was like late high school for me, and I was getting too busy to play RPGs anymore. So I've never really played it. I played the first like 4 or 5 hours. I can't tell you how many times. And maybe that's a sign of how I feel about the game, that I haven't been compelled to play past that. But I can't really say. But I will say that, I mean, also about the Chrono Trigger review, like, that's not my favorite RPG. Like, I think there's some people that really dig on Chrono Trigger. I'm one of those few people that's like, I don't hate the game, but it's just not my thing. I'm not crazy about Chrono Trigger. I still bought it like 3 times. But I've never actually beaten Chrono Trigger as many times as I've tried. I don't think it's an aggressively bad game. I'm just kind of like,
You guys use the mic, sorry.
Happy?
Well, some people are having a little trouble hearing you back.
Oh, I
Hey. Chrono Cross. I haven't played it. The soundtrack is real good. I don't know that much. Are there any questions in the back? Way in the back there. I'm sorry. What's up, man?
How do you feel about Earl being in Samoa?
Free Earl. Free Earl. Free Earl. Where Earl at? Actually, Earl's probably the best. I think Earl's better than Tyler. Honestly, yeah. And anybody else in the back? I don't want to ignore you guys. Hey, well, come on, take a seat. Come on in. Got plenty of seats. Get comfy. Yeah, there's some questions around here. Right there.
I have a question about, it's actually kind of a 2-part question.
Mm-hmm.
The first part is, how do you feel about reviewing games that other people like James or other people that are, that you know of?
There's no sign-up sheet. There's no one calls dibs.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own different style. So no, it's fine.
Because it seems like a lot of people talk about that sort of thing online. And
You have to understand, like, James is a level of popularity that his fans are very rabid, and you cannot hold that against him. Because, like, have you guys met James? He's like the nicest fucking dude. He's like super quiet and just really likes to make movies. So I don't have a problem with it. I know James doesn't, but the reality is people are going to give you shit for it. Don't worry about it.
And second part, Ninja Gaiden. Would you be interested in doing a video like, would you do the whole trilogy or would you pick just one? And which one would you pick?
I would probably number 2. I think for when we're talking Nintendo, actually, at the end of the day, man, the one for Xbox fucking love Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. I almost beat that game. It's just too much work. Every level is a goddamn struggle, but I think I do like Ninja Gaiden Trilogy for the Super Nintendo, just because I don't know a lot of people know about that. I think they know about the Ninja Gaiden games, but there's that trilogy for the Super Nintendo that came out. But I do.
Incredibly rare too. It's hard to come.
Yeah, it's rare, and it's not that good. It's pretty good. I would say it's rare. It's worth a lot of money. It's not worth that much money. But also Ninja Gaiden is pretty well known. That kind of falls under my, like, it's kind of really well known. So as of right now, I can't think of any capacity I would do Ninja Gaiden. But I think number 2 is the best one. And then number 3, they kind of tweaked the controls a bit and got rid of continues. You have limited continues. That to me, that breaks the whole thing. So that's why I put.
And the Shadow Ninjas too. They took out the Shadow Ninjas.
Yeah, those are so fucking cool.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's why I like 2.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way you have to kill a couple of the bosses.
Yeah, you just keep them up on. Yeah. Did you have another question, man? You said the one. Yeah. I felt like I ignored you, but all right, cool. Let's see, I haven't gotten you yet. The White Sox, yeah.
How do you feel about Legend of Dragoons? And do you know why Sony never released a sequel? Or
That was a PlayStation 1 RPG?
Yeah.
I haven't played that one. So, no, I don't have any comment on that. When it came out, that was like after Final Fantasy VII, PlayStation 1 RPGs just exploded. And it was hard to keep track of them all.
It's 4 discs. I mean, it's long. And
Yeah.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it ends in a way where you know it's a sequel.
Oh.
But it never released a sequel after that, ever. And it was strictly made by Sony. It was like their own.
Wasn't the hit that they wanted?
I don't know.
Damn. And also RPGs are just so much work to review. I need to find a better capacity with which I can do them. That's why I was really excited about Sweet Home, because you can beat Sweet Home in like 8-10 hours. Yeah. And you the Coke shirt? Yeah.
Before the mid to late 2000s, would you ever think that classic gaming would be the huge cultural and internet phenomenon that it is now?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's like that 20-year, like how fashions are always about 20 years off. Like a couple years ago, 80s was like the cool new retro thing that people would be the fashion-wise. And when I was in high school in the 90s, the cool fashion thing was to dress like the 70s. It's always like this kind of 20 years thing, and it's because I think people that are 30 or 40 remember what it was like when they were 10 or 20. It's just kind of how that works. And so, no, I'm not too surprised. It's kind of grown to what it is. I think it's really cool that people still make games that are like nice throwbacks to the 2D era. I don't think I saw that coming. So I think that's whenever anybody says like modern games are shit, like nah man, look at Limbo, look at Bastion, look at Mega Man 9, stuff like that. All these cool indie games that have that aesthetic and that kind of old school. Yeah, Super Meat Boy, definitely, yeah. Who is next? Oh, Ben Kergon. What are you doing?
Hey, I don't remember what video it was in, but you had a shot in one of your reviews where you had a Super Nintendo, and in it was a game called Out of This World, and you took it up and you put another game in. I think the game you're reviewing.
That's a really fucking good game.
What was that all about? What are you going to do down there?
I'll fucking review it one of these times. Give me time. Yeah.
So hard.
I'm working hard. It's a lot of work. I also do other things besides review video games. So, yeah. When are you gonna have an album out? Space Boyfriend. Let's see. I haven't gotten this guy over here yet. In the glasses? Yeah.
So, what is your favorite RPG or several?
Earthbound. Yes. Earthbound. I think the best RPG is FF6. But I mean, if I had to choose FF6 to Earthbound, like Earthbound is more fun for me to play. So, easy question. Yeah, Earthbound.
Yeah, this is more of a technical question. Mainly because I'm
Don't be shy when you're asking a question in front of people.
Straight up. All right.
I'm sorry. No, go for it, man.
I'm interested in trying to start something of my own, and
as a matter of fact, there is a panel after this panel called Zen and the Art of Video Production. and it's going to be hosted by Joey. Joey probably took off to get it's going to be Joey, James, Justin, Jew, Wario, and Pat. And how could I forget Pat? And they'll be talking about that. So actually, after this panel, this is going to be another one that you can probably they'll probably answer questions you have. Do you have a specific question though?
I was just curious as to what hardware you use, software.
I prefer Mac. I use Final Cut. I've used Adobe Premiere, and they're both fine programs. It's just up to they're different enough, so it's all a preference. The unfortunate thing is the gap between like iMovie and Final Cut is huge. There's no like in between. So if you go from iMovie or Windows Media Maker, Windows Movie Maker, the gap is so big. It can be really overwhelming how many bells and whistles and things you can do in Final Cut. The cool thing about that is I never went to film school because one, you just fail until you get it right. And two, there's Google, there's YouTube. Chances are if you have a question, somebody else has already asked it and answered it and it's been documented on the internet. So Google it. And also, they say in the Japanese game, Go, they say, may you lose your first 1,000 games quickly. So may you make your first few shitty videos quickly. And I mean this in the best way, like your first videos are going to suck because your newer videos are going to be better. So also know when to say like, I can't make this video any better, I need to start fresh. But also know when to push yourself, but that's on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you started with putting your videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. I still do. YouTube is Google. I mean, I don't think even though I'm on Blip TV and on RetroWare TV, I don't see myself ever closing down my YouTube channel because it's like one of the centers of the internet. So there's nothing wrong with YouTube. Yeah.
I feel like force you down.
Which I haven't gotten yet. I'll get Sega over here than you, Garen.
Yeah, like your review of like Sweet Home, would you ever consider doing more like reproduction cartridges of games?
Like, I just feel like I don't want to open up that, like, I feel like I have enough already, and I don't need more. I feel like I have enough that I can focus on, and that's like a whole nother, like, just can of worms I don't feel like opening. It's Sweet Home was just, oh yeah, and Ian. Ian is the dude who gave me Sweet Home for my birthday, so he's the reason he's the reason I did that first thing. He was like, oh, check this game out, and I played it, and it was just fucking blown away how good it was. So, yeah.
Your Christmas present this year is another Repo retro horror game.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so you wouldn't consider doing like a mother reproduction, like
I don't even know what that is. No. I can confirm that I won't do Earthbound Zero.
Earthbound on the NES.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Earthbound, like on the NES.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever?
No, I just redid the Earthbound video for the DVD. Shit is 33 minutes long, so hopefully it's not really boring. But Ian also got Earthbound for himself, and we played it for a while, and I think we got about halfway through, and it's not that good. It really is not that good. And I was on with Fangamer a couple times, and they have an association with Starman.net, and I kind of asked them, like, I don't really dig on Earthbound Zero, and I don't mean to be controversial. They're like, no, it's cool. Like, most Earthbound Mother fans can agree that Earthbound Zero is not that great. But it's kind of like the first Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy. Like, looking back now, are like, I think they're bad because it's too much grinding. I got a little bit of shit for that. People are like, no, it's hardcore. Grinding for 20 hours on an NES game, it's the only way to do it.
Like one white mage, man.
Yeah, you see, there's some crazy shit on GameFAQs. Like, go through Zelda with never getting a level up or never picking up the sword, and go through Final Fantasy with just a white mage. Like, don't you have things to do? I mean, I like games too, but like, shit, I have friends and family and obligations and jobs, like, so I think the older ones, this Earthbound Zero or Mother 1 is, I recommend it if you like the old school RPGs, but like, it is, get ready to grind. Get ready to grind. And you know, to get a reproduction cartridge, like 20, 30, 40 bucks. put that money aside and get Earthbound for Super Nintendo. It's unquestionably a better game. Yeah. Get Aaron next. Yeah.
What's a game that you would absolutely suggest to somebody, but you would never review?
Whoa. Well, that'd be like a really well-known game then.
Well, let's throw that out.
Saints Row the Third's fucking game of the year. This DVD almost didn't happen because I tweeted a couple weeks back like I need to finish this game to have my fucking life back. I wasn't kidding. Like I beat that game in like 4 days. I put like 20 hours into it, and that's a lot for me because I have things to do, and that was really cutting into it. So actually, Saints Row the Third is awesome. Saints Row 1 and 2 are crap. Don't even worry about them. Especially Saints Row 1. Yeah.
Saints Row 2 is amazing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because I played it at Calvin's and I was not feeling it.
That's because you played Saints Row 3.
Yeah, because I was playing Saints Row the Third and then went back and I was like, oh man, how do I get a girl with giant boobs? I want to play. Yeah, there's no Kanye West power. There's no Tim and Eric sports.
You listen to the Giant Bombcast at all?
I do. I love Giant Bomb. Yeah.
Yeah. You notice that.
I kind of got into Saints Row the Third because
because
Jeff was talking about it, and I think he got like Vinny or.
Well, it was Ryan and Jeff that was like spreading the infection to the rest of the crew.
I would also say Zelda's for the DS Spirit Tracks. That game is really good, but Christ, does it take a long time to get going. And I heard that was a problem with Skyward Sword too. And Skyward Sword is really good, but it's just the intro is so long, and that was a problem with that was totally the problem with Spirit Tracks. Once it gets going, though, it's awesome. Yeah. I honestly I have not played Twilight Princess because I never got outside of the village. But I heard, and also like I know it's probably really good. It's, only so many hours in the day. It's a problem when you get older. Yeah. I think I had Aaron. Did you have a question next or? I'll get you next, and this dude in the back here.
So since you talk about how much you love Earthbound so frequently, what did you think about the third?
I actually haven't a chance to play it yet.
Really?
Yeah, I did give myself an import card, and I know you can like rip it and actually play it legal. But I haven't had a chance to sink my teeth into it. But I hear that it's fucking rad. And doesn't it sort of end on a cliffhanger, or just ends really sad?
Ends really sad.
I don't know. Well.
Thanks for ruining it, guys.
Spoilers, it's sad. And what your question, man?
Oh, I was been talking about RPGs left and right. One that I don't see get much mention in reviews, and I don't really know why, is what do you think of Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo?
Great. I probably could have gone into more detail about it, but the Mystic Quest video that I did, I mentioned that Mystic Quest was a failure. Even though I like it, I fully acknowledge it is in fact a bad game. But if you want an intro RPG, Mario RPG is excellent. For what it's trying to be, it's an excellent game. Yeah.
We played something on video.
We did, yeah, for the Fan Gamer Fan Fest. Yeah, we played a little bit. Oh, go ahead.
Two things. One, what do you think about the Streets of Rage remake getting shut down by Sega? Like, did you hear about that at all?
No, I haven't heard about that.
Basically, this Bomber Games, they spent 8 years remaking Streets of Rage from scratch and basically combining all the games into one. And it kind of got Sega's permission, but then 8 days after they released it, Sega was like, no.
See, that's kind of like what Starman.net has been doing. That not really remaking. Well, actually, aren't they making Mother? They're making a fan Mother 4 now, right?
Yeah.
And as Nintendo, near as I can tell, like Nintendo has been kind of cool with it. So like, there's been that's an example of like kind of how lucky Mother fans are, even though they haven't gotten shit since I haven't gotten anything since Earthbound. So that's kind of a weird kind of stalemate between the two. But I hadn't heard about that. And that's really sad.
I would recommend finding a version of that.
So it's finished.
Yeah, it's a free fan remake. They
Yeah,
finished it after 8 years.
Yeah, you can find it if you can just search for it pretty much.
Nah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
5 minutes, yeah. Actually, I think we should wrap up a little early and just relocate to the Zen and Art of Video Game Reviewing, because a lot of folks from Retroware are going to be there, and I actually want to see that.